Want to call the board meeting to order. It's Johnson County Board of Education, February 9th, 2023. If you will, let's all stand for a moment of silence, and then we'll ask Ms. Joanne Reese to lead the pledge. Joanne.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call roll, please.
Mr. Holloway?
Here.
Mr. Matheson? Ms. Reese?
Here.
Mr. Robinson?
Here.
Mr. Payne?
Here.
Mr. Gentry?
Here.
Okay, didn't get any audience participation forms, so we'll just move on to the consent agenda. Any questions on the consent agenda? Anything we need to pull off?
Mr. Chair, I would like to pull off the federal projects to court amendment. There's an item on there that I think that the administration needs to brief us all about because it's a sizable sum of money.
At the Federal Projects Fund Court Amendment?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll pull that one off if that's all right with everyone? Okay. So do you want to make a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of that one item?
So moved.
Can we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Mr. Holloway, second. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Holloway?
Yes.
Ms. Reese?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes. Okay, the Federal Projects Fund Court Amendment.
What I would like, and Ms. South is aware of this, IDEA is going to get a sizable sum of money, and I'd like for her to sort of brief the board about how they plan to use that money, especially since there's going to be a pretty expensive piece of equipment bought with it as well.
Yes, we were awarded a one-time fund of $340,000, and that was based on census, and they had to go back and recalculate, and so that's a one-time fund that special ed received. One of the things, before we wrote the grant, we had to update and put our plan into E-Plan and get that approved. Before we submitted that plan, I did email Melanie Lamberson to make sure, we have a special ed bus that will be coming off the road in 2025, and so we wanted to start looking to see if we could use some money thinking ahead for that, because we know that according to the lady that's been here for the buses talking about that other bus situation, that it's taken like 2 years to get the buses ahead of time. So I did email the State Department, and they said that was allowable, and that would be an approved spending of the funds. So we did spend, we allocated, I think it was $125,000 to go ahead and replace that special ed bus and get that in the making, so that we have that when the other bus has to come off. The other part of the money, a lot of the money is being spent for replacing outdated, if you've been in some of the classrooms, a lot of them had old furniture that's kind of dilapidated, so we used a large chunk of money to update the supplies and the furniture and the filing cabinets and things that they hadn't had replaced in years. So we've worked on replenishing those things. And then a large chunk of the money will also be spent for stipends for summer school. And we will be doing some tutoring. There will be some special ed teachers tutoring special ed students after school. So those are the majority of the ways that we're spending that money. And we were really thankful it was approved on the first read, or the first submission to the state. So we're very thankful to get that money, and the teachers are very thankful for all the extra supplies and materials and the updated equipment and stuff that they have, that they are getting, and just glad that we have the funds to go ahead and get that bus in the making, so we don't have to worry about that in a couple of years.
Thank you. So I guess we need motion to approve this federal projects fund court amendment.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chair.
Okay. And do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Holloway, second. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Holloway,
Yes.
Ms. Reese,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes,
Mr. Payne.
Yes.
and thank you for the explanation.
Okay. Moving on to the report of the student board member, Braden Gentry.
Today is Principal Appreciation Day, and I would like to just say thank you to all of our principals who work extremely hard to keep our schools running smoothly and together. I'd also like to recognize all the amazing counselors who are diligent in maintaining a safe and caring environment for our students. This week is School Counselors Week, so please be sure to remind your counselors how much they mean to us. The Johnson County Theater will be holding auditions for Annie of the Green Gables this Friday and Saturday evening at 6 to 8 p.m. at Heritage Hall. The JCHS Winter Formal will be held this Saturday starting at 7 in the Commons area. Tickets are still available for purchase during lunches. Congratulations to Bethany McFadden, who is competing in the Regional Prepared Speaking Competition at UT next week. She's doing a speech on the significance of processed foods. National FFA Week starts February 18th. Be sure to thank all of those who work extremely hard to run our local FFA chapter. And we have Vanessa's team, who is qualified for the state tournament in March for our robotics, and all of our robotics teams will be competing in Bristol on February 18th for the last state qualifying event.
Okay. Thanks, Braden.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 6 on our agenda, 5-year plan. You want to speak on that?
Yeah. Part of our 5-year plan is the technology director will provide the board with a replacement plan, and the board will explore funding sources to meet the needs of replacing technology according to the plan. As you know, with ESSER, we have put a lot of dollars in technology for Chromebooks and interactive TVs and equipment for our teachers. At the board retreat in March, Rob is going to go over our replacement plan for that. So you will see that at the board retreat in March.
Okay,
So just wanted to update you on that.
great, thank you. Okay, item number 7, the second and final reading of the TSBA recommended changes on the following policies. There's a policy on sick leave, one on special education students, and then a new policy, students from military families. And here to,
Yes. Policy 5.302, which is on sick leave, and this is per state law. We have to remove the statement regarding that sick leave for maternity purposes may be taken during the period of physical disability only. Teachers can use sick leave for maternity purposes if it's verified by position. So that's a state law. On 6.500, special education students, it's an updated policy to provide provisions on restraint and isolation. And then 6.506 is a brand new policy, and it is a state law. Boards are required to maintain a policy that speaks to students from military families and establishes a reasonable period of time in which they are permitted to enroll to provide proof of residencies to a school district.
okay. Someone want to make a motion we approve all of those, or any questions on any of them?
I make a motion we approve these policies.
Okay. Ms. Reese made a motion. We'll have a second.
I'll second it.
Mr. Holloway, second. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Holloway,
Yes.
Ms. Reese,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes,
Mr. Payne.
Yes. Okay, item number 8, approve cables fencing for $22,000. This is for the fencing for the sports field at Mountain City Elementary. They will be removable and replace of all fencing around the baseball field. And I think we got 3 bids on that.
This is funded through the TVA grant that's at Mountain City Elementary. If you remember this grant, we got $100,000. $50,000 of that goes towards HVAC. The other $50,000 goes through things that the students have voted on. They voted on to replace the fence around the baseball, softball field and for playground equipment. So this is for the replacement of the fence. And if you have any questions, Leon will be happy to answer those.
Is there any restrictions? I know we've got this, the low bid here, but do we know of any projects that they have completed that's related to what we are gonna have done?
Same company did a project at the high school last year, replaced the baseball field fencing around the high school baseball field.
And we're happy with that.
As far as I know. You had any complaints?
No, we've not had any complaints of it.
Okay.
They actually went above and beyond. Mr. Cranley can tell you, they replaced some things that, we weren't planning on replacing that they saw when they started in on the project. Straighten some things up, put some new posts in that needed to be put in at the high school. Got that looking good.
Okay.
Anybody got any other questions? Anyone want to make a motion to approve it?
Make the motion, we approve the bid for the fencing.
Okay. Mr. Holloway made the motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
And Ms. Reese, second. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Holloway,
Yes.
Ms. Reese,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Payne.
Yes. All right. School calendar. So, I think everyone, all the staff and teachers and everybody voted. Number 9, approve the proposed school calendar for Johnson County Schools for the year 24-25.
And if, for the new board members, we try to approve our school calendar 2 years in advance. Parents really appreciate that when it comes to fall breaks and long weekends and making vacations. So this is for the 24-25 school year, and we did send out 2 drafts, and the staff voted on, all staff voted on which one they preferred, and 95% voted on this draft. So this is the calendar we'd like to approve for the 24-25 school year.
See.
Anybody got any comments or questions? Okay, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the 24-25 school calendar.
All right, Mr. Robinson, made the motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Holloway, second. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Holloway,
Yes.
Ms. Reese,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Payne.
Yes. Okay, Tina, budget update.
You do have a summary financial statement in front of you for January. This is expenditures from January, being that we're meeting so early in the month, we do not have revenue yet included in this financial statement. Just taking a brief look at some highlights. The school department at the end of January was 32.6% of appropriations expended in general purpose, 25.8% of appropriations expended in federal projects, 50.6% of appropriations expended in central cafeteria, and Head Start, which is fiscal year project, was 54.1% of appropriations expended for the month of January. The majority of these funds that were expended were for salaries and for benefits.
Okay. Anybody got any questions for Tina? Okay, if not, then let's move on to item 11. You got anything?
Yes.
Add for us?
You do have your Head Start and Pre-K information in your packet. Lori, is there anything you want to add? Anybody have any questions for Lori?
Molly says I'm going to ask you a question.
Our TSBA Scope Conference, which our board reps go to, Braden and Vanessa will be going to Belmont on March the 7th, and they'll come back and share with us what they learned. It's a great time. Braden got to go last year. This is Vanessa's first time, so I know they'll enjoy it. And I'm very proud that our board has a student board representative. Not many school boards do, so I think it is a good idea to have a voice of the students. Today, like Braden said, is Appreciation Day for our principals and assistant principals, and we have the best so we do appreciate all that they do. Just so you know, snow days, as of today, we've used 6 snow days. I do want to thank the County Road Department, their crew, Dr. Long, Darwin, for, you know, helping us with the roads, getting out and checking the roads at 5:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, because Stephen calls me by 5:30 because we have to have the decision made very, very early. So we do appreciate all that they do to help us. That's all that I have.
Okay. All righty. Well, that's the agenda. If we don't have anything else, I guess I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Also make that motion.
All righty. Second, we are adjourned.